All right? A remnant. Okay? A remnant. Isn't that what Isaiah's first son? Remember now, YHWH. You look up his name, it means a remnant shall return. And that's all that came back was a remnant. Out of all those of Israel, a remnant came back. 42,360. That was the reason YHWH was born. To Isaiah. Remember now what he said in 8:18 Isaiah. I and the children whom YHWH have given me are for signs and wonders. Okay? In Zion, in Jerusalem, in Israel. For the whole world. You know, all the known world at that time. All right? Just like YHWH, when you go into chapter 8, his birth was a sign that Yah wasn't going to wait any longer. Remember now in chapter 7, Isaiah, what he said. He said within 65 years, he said he was going to break Ephraim, or the 10 tribes, where they wouldn't even be a people. He was going to have them carried away. Well, by the time YHWH was born, he was a sign that Yah wasn't going to wait any longer. He was going to bring on the king of Assyria with all his army to take the 10 tribes out. But this happened after the death of Ahaz. He wasn't going to live to see this. But he did live to see, you understand, the sign, as it says in chapter 7, was specifically for him of Emmanuel. We just read it. The sign was for him. So that means he had to witness Emmanuel's birth. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? He had to see this boy after he was born. And when he got the word that the 2 kings were taken away at the top of chapter 7, who had allied themselves to come against him and his people, when he got the word that they were killed, he went to Isaiah's house. He looked at that boy Emmanuel. That boy still could not discern right from wrong, good from evil. And he knew then that the rest of the prophecy that had been told him was going to come to pass. So again, you understand, we say to you, what you understand? What is this New Testament? Okay? We just dispelled all of this, what it just said here in chapter 1, Matthew, the first chapter. Okay? You know, and like we said on previous shows. So what is this? Because this is not the fulfillment of these prophecies. And again, like it says in Amos chapter 3, verse 7, Yah does nothing unless he reveals it, his secret, through his servants, the prophets. Okay? He has to raise up a prophet to bring forth his truth before it happens, to bring forth a prophecy. So when it takes place, the people will know that it is YHWH that's doing it. Now, go back here to chapter 45 Isaiah. Okay? And what does it say? When you keep reading, it's talking about Cyrus, as we were reading earlier. And when you drop down into verse 14, okay? Now remember now, Cyrus had said earlier, you know, Yah had said he was going to give all the nations into Cyrus's hand. Okay? And this is in chapter 45 Isaiah. Okay? And again, he says he was going to, though Cyrus had, you know, Cyrus had not known Yah because he wasn't raised in the knowledge of Yah, but at some point, he found out about Yah. You know, it was made known to him. Okay? Now in chapter 45, Yah is talking to him. And we're going to pick it up at verse 11. Thus saith Yah, the Holy One of Israel, and his Maker. Because Yah, everything comes from Yah. Alright? Ask me of things to come. Okay? Concerning my sons and concerning the work of my hands. Command you me. I have made the earth and created man upon it. Even my hands have stretched out the heavens, and all their host have I commanded. I have raised him up in righteousness, talking about Cyrus, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city. We just read where he gave the commandment to build Jerusalem to Sheshbazzar, the prince of Yahudah, or Zerubbabel, right? And if you keep reading in the book of Ezra, when you get over there to chapter 5 and 6, you will read after, and we've mentioned this on a previous show, after Zerubbabel got cut off, after the 62 weeks, and you can read about that in chapter 3 and chapter 4 of the book of Ezra, Zerubbabel was stopped from building that temple, okay, by the adversaries, as it says at the top of chapter 4 Ezra. They stopped him after they were rejected from taking part in building this second temple to Yah. They wrote a lying accusation to Cyrus, okay, and you got to remember in chapter 4 Ezra, the deceivers, the snake, okay, the great Leviathan, you know, the illuminated ones, the descendants of Esau, when they translated this book, they took Cyrus's name out of most of all of chapter 4. It should be Cyrus all the way through, and replaced it with Artaxerxes. But that's ludicrous because Artaxerxes wasn't even born yet. He didn't come on the scene and rise to king of Persia until 465 BCE. All right? Zerubbabel, they lived back in the 500s, the 6th century. Okay? And when they got stopped from building that temple, when they got cut off after the 62 weeks after their return, was in 535 BCE. This is what Daniel, you follow, this is what he understood. He heard this command that came forth from Cyrus when he got this lying accusing letter that's talked about in Ezra 4, saying that Zerubbabel and Yehoshua and them had been doing something they hadn't, that they really weren't doing. This was a lying letter that was written. And when they got the reply from Cyrus, he sent back saying, put a stop to it till I get a chance to look into it. So when they got the response back, this is what it's talking about in Ezra 4 at the bottom. They rushed up and made them stop building this temple. And that's when he got cut off 62 years after their return, because it was in the 3rd year of Cyrus. All right? And the 3rd year of Cyrus is 535 BCE. Remember now, they defeated the Chaldeans in 538. So the 3rd year of Cyrus' reign is 535. That's where Daniel 10 starts out.